Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Gun Culture Radio. This time, instead of having Zeke talk at you guys and make you aware of the sponsor, I figured I would just do it myself. The sponsor for this podcast is SDI, Sonoran Desert Institute. You can check them out at sdi.edu. It's a really cool opportunity if you're interested in being a gunsmith. They have some other firearms technology degrees. Just check out their website. They do take GI Bill. So any veterans out there, it's a cool opportunity. You know, you can't hate a job, in the gun industry. I assume a lot of people listening to this show are gun nuts just like me. It's cool to be able to have a job doing something that you love. Turning a hobby into a job is the true American dream. It's not 2 cars in every garage and a white picket fence. It's having a job that you love. That's the American dream right there. And that should be everyone's dream. That should be the human dream, not just the American dream. Anyways, check that out, sdi.edu. Really appreciate them for the sponsorship. This show is not cheap to make. So anyways, appreciate that and hope you guys enjoy the show. I really appreciate having Federal Ammo on as a sponsor for this show. They've been a great ammo company for a lot of years. They're really good about working with new media, which I feel like says that they are very on top of things and very with it for a company that has been around as long as they have. And they just have a wide range of selection when it comes to ammo. Everything from their Federal Champion brand, which is a really good, affordable ammo for practice at the range. They also have their American Eagle brand, which is a really good, middle-of-the-road, high-quality ball ammo, practice ammo, defense ammo, whatever you want to use it for. And then they also have really high-end defensive ammo and hunting ammo with premium bullet technologies and all the good stuff. You got the full spectrum with Federal Ammo. They always seem to keep a lot of it in stock, and it's easy to find. Just a great company. Really happy to have them on as a sponsor and really appreciate them. We also appreciate our other sponsor, Ballistol. As you guys probably know, we've used this stuff for a long time, long before the YouTube days. It's a cleaner and a lubricant. It's great on firearms. It's even good at preserving firearms. If you have an old gun with a little bit of rust on it and you want to get that rust off with some steel wool, but you want to do it smoothly without further damaging the finish any more than you absolutely have to, Ballistol works great for that. It's also good just in the house. It works great for leather furniture, wood. It really darkens it up and makes it look really rich. It's just a really great overall multi-use lubricant, and it really protects all your metal, keeps it from rusting. It's a great product. Used it for a long time and really appreciate them supporting the show, and I hope you guys appreciate that too. And just check them out at ballistol.com. Hope you guys enjoy the show. All right, so Derrick's back on the show again.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, we just got done having an off-air conspiracy theory discussion.
Yeah, off-air, yes. Yeah. Off-air, yeah.
Yeah, we thought, well, I guess we better start recording here at some point.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
For all the secret listening devices we're talking into now.
That's
Not
right.
that we believe in anything like that. No.
Yeah. I like to talk about that kind of stuff with people who I enjoy talking about that stuff with you and some of my other friends, because what annoys me is when you get into those discussions with people and they're so set on like it's this certain way, and it makes it hard to me. It's just fun to like theorize about different possibilities.
Exactly.
And stuff.
Keep it light. Come on, man, relax. The Men in Black are out there. We know that, so just kind of roll with it. Okay, come on.
And you know what? Let's say things are as bad as they possibly could be. Like, how much time do we really have left, anyways? You know what I mean?
Right. They're marshaling the zombies now. They're to unleash them. Come on, relax. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, the worst case scenario, we only have to worry about it for another 30 to 100 years from how old you are.
That's right. Come on.
So
Get out of here. What are you worried about, dude?
Yeah.
So, 100 years from now, when they dig up this broadcast, they'll go, see?
Yeah.
He knew. He knew. I told you.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I will tell them my theory that I was telling you earlier.
Go ahead.
About let's say that we're straight on this island. Let's say there's like 200 people on this island, and I was a part of this council. Let's say there's like 10 of us that are kind of ruling everyone else on the island, let's say, right? And I knew when it came down to it, I really didn't have anything on the people. You know what I mean? It was really just, it was very a teetering position.
Yeah.
It would be to my advantage to make it look like I was into some really next level stuff.
Of course, yeah.
So that they would be kind of like, they might want to stop me, but they might be a little afraid at the same time. Too.
Exactly. If you can't dazzle them with knowledge, baffle them with BS.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's saying that. I don't believe it, but he said it. So I'm not willing to take the chance that this guy can really do everything he said he could do.
Right.
Of course. Come
exactly.
on now. Hey.
Now, that doesn't mean that wherever there's smoke, there can't be fire. It doesn't mean that, but I think a lot of the smoke is just smoke when it comes to that kind of stuff. And because that's really, let's face it, the easiest way to hide something is to not hide it and just bring in a bunch of stuff that looks just like it, like needle and a stack of needles. That's right. That's right. Like from Saving Private Ryan. That's right. That's right. See, he hit the nail on the head.
Good reference. Good movie reference. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, really. That's the best way to hide. I remember giving someone the analogy one time, and I was like, let's say I had like, some machine that was making a noise in my house. And I didn't want you to know about it. Mm-hmm. Well, I could put up a bunch of stuff to try to hide the noise or whatever, but that would be kind of hard to do. Really, the best thing to do would just be have like a generator running and a loud refrigerator and a bunch of things, so then you can't hear it.
That's right.
That's the best way to hide stuff. So
plain sight, dude.
Yeah. So you got to figure that the government does the same thing, and that's kind of the deal with the internet. So right. I try not to get too hung up on things on the internet because there's a lot of nonsense out there.
Perspective. Remember, yes, the internet is a great thing, a great source of information, a great media tool. But at the same time, it can be a haven for all kinds of weird stuff too. So
right.
Perspective. Take it easy. Relax.
Right.
You believe what you believe. That's your business. But okay. Don't get carried away, dude.
Exactly. And find peace in the fact that, like I said, the worst case scenario isn't even that bad. That's right. How much longer are we here anyways?
The zombie apocalypse, what the hey, I'll probably go out in the first week. What the hell? Hey, let's go. Pass a beer.
Plus, exactly.
Hey, it's cool, man. Whatever.
Yeah, and I hope there's no zombie apocalypse, but hey, it's something else to do.
All the stuff we're talking about, you get to apply it. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, relax. It's just the apocalypse. Come on.
Right. Yeah, of course, prepare for it just in case, because you don't want to be like the guy that plays the preacher in Walking Dead.
That's right. I'm going to hide out under the church. Yeah. I'll be safe here. Yeah. Don't be that guy.
Right, or it's like on some big rock or something.
That's right. Okay, again, we've talked about this before. If you want to be the guy with the 5 years of ammo and food in your basement, dude, go for it.
Right.
But go ahead and kind of live your life too while you're doing that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Exactly. Yeah, but there's when it comes to stockpiling food and ammo. Well, food, no matter how good of a what's the word I'm searching for? No matter how well stored it is, it still has a shelf life of some kind. So that's one thing you have to take into consideration, of course. Mm-hmm. But with ammo can last a really long time, like 100 years, a lot of it. And the thing about ammo is there's a lot of reasons why stocking ammo could come to your advantage. Yeah. There's obviously the most dramatic example of some kind of apocalyptic scenario.
That word keeps coming up. Okay, yeah.
Right. And then there's a scenario where like society is kind of weird and kind of screwed up for a while or whatever, and just things are really shaky, and ammo becomes a much higher demand. A lot of people want it. There's that, and then there's also the most likely scenario if the government figures out some way to make ammo harder to get or far more expensive, or if this I don't believe would actually happen for real, but the materials dry up. They might tell us the materials dried up, but I don't think that would happen.
No more gunpowder. Oh, sorry, dude.
Right. What if they just come out one day and they're like, oh, yep, sorry, we got to close down the plants. We don't have the materials. I mean, you just got to take them at their word.
I mean, hey, you're right.
What are you going to do? Start digging in the ground looking for them?
No more bullets.
No.
No more bullets. Sorry.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, exactly. So there's reasons, to have some ammo sitting around.
A reasonable supply. Let's make sure we preface it. Make sure we what's the word I'm looking for?
Reasonable.
Whatever. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah. Well, if what's reasonable,
qualified.
Right.
Make sure we qualify a reasonable amount of ammo. Okay.
Right, as it relates to your income.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
If you make $10 million a year, then
hey, sky's the limit. Hey,
yeah, exactly.
If you don't, you might want to just keep it down to a reasonable level. Now, what that means, I don't know. That's up to you to decide.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about this a lot, of course, but my thing with stocking ammo, as far as what I'm expecting to be able to, bug out with.
Exactly.
It's like before you start stocking ammo that you're planning to carry, try carrying it first and see how much
idea.
You can carry, because ammo gets heavy fast.
Especially if you've got a larger caliber weapon like a M14 or a SOCOM. Sorry, let me use a modern term. SOCOM, something like that. A 7.62 gets real heavy. You're not going to hump that much of it.
No.
So be reasonable, folks.
Which, if you're in a group, I would say that's fine.
Yes,
because there would be an advantage to having like a guy with a 308.
And that's that time will come. Long-term survival, you're going to need help from others.
Right.
You're going to. I mean, we like to think we can stay out there for weeks on end, indefinite amount of time by ourselves. I think it's more realistic to say that you'll be able to stay out there a fair amount of time on your own, depending on what your skill set is.
Right.
But the time will come where you're going to need someone else.
Yeah, man, people is huge in those situations.
Oh yes,
because even like one guy with moderate survival skills is going to have a hell of a time staying alive.
Yeah,
but like 10 people with poor survival skills could probably do pretty well.
It depends on how long.
Depends
on how long. Depends on what your skill set is initially when you go into it. Like that show, Naked and Afraid. I'm not giving them a plug, am I?
You can.
Okay. That's do I like to think I could hack it out there? No. Maybe for a day or two, but 21 days with just nothing.
Yeah.
No, I'd be done.
Yeah, I would too.
With equipment and some moderate amount of training, I could probably hack 21 days out there, no problem. But just if you're caught, with your britches down, excuse me if I don't be too risque.
No, that's okay.
You're caught with your pants down and you're out there with nothing except what's in your pockets, it can be tough.
Yeah.
Plus, I think one thing they don't touch on enough is the mental aspect of survival. You have to believe and want to survive. Because you can have all the skills and equipment in the world, but if you don't have the right mindset, you're done.
Yeah, I think I would probably be screwed, but I think what I would try to do is to constantly be doing something.
Yes.
Because one, it'll take your mind off of just being like, oh God, look at this horrible situation I'm in. Mm-hmm. And two, if you're constantly working on something, then you're just increasing your odds.
Exactly. You got to improve your situation the further you go. Very important.
Like you might not be good enough to whip up a fire real quick, but if you don't give up and you keep trying to make a fire,
exactly,
and then keep coming back to it and keep coming back to it and keep coming back to it, eventually you might get it.
If you don't have the materials, then find the knowledge or find someone else who has the knowledge, if possible. Right. Just do not give up. There are people who've died within a mile of help.
Yeah,
because they gave up just at the wrong time. Right when you're about to give up could be the critical time when you don't need to give up and you could make it.
Right.
But mindset is everything.
This is a thought I just had. It seems like survival skills would be something that would be important to teach in schools, even just like on a small level. Like when I was in school, I remember once we had this guy, who was some kind of survival expert guy. He came to school and just like did a demonstration.
Yeah.
It kind of gave you a general idea, but that was like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
But, it seems like the whole point of school, right, is basically like, all right, you're new to the world. Let's teach you everything that we've figured out up until this point. And you think you would start with some of those basics, or not necessarily start with them, but that would be incorporated somewhere along the way, just in case.
That would be a hell of an extra credit elective class. I know that. That'd be great. But survival skills, again, remembering what kind of survival in this world, or as we have it now, or if it's all over, the light just went out and they're not coming back on. Okay, get that fire starter kit.
And then I guess you could make the point, like, what are the chances of that actually happening? And then you're taking time away from something you could learn to...
Like reading, writing,
that you actually need to survive in this world.
Which, it's a good side thing. It should be like an elective, a good side thing, because I think you get a lot of character when you're out there. Back in the old days, the last century, I love saying that. When I was I did the Cub Scout thing when I was a kid.
Yeah, I did that too. Yeah.
And they took us camping one time. Other than that, we only played baseball. But anyway, we went camping. And it was all. This was how can I put this? A troop with a Cub Scout troop with fewer assets than some had.
Oh yeah.
So a bunch of poor kids from out in the middle of nowhere in the South. So we had to kind of ad lib everything. So
just make it up.
We pulled up to this wilderness site in the middle of nowhere. All right. We got to get shelter. And it's like, okay, get some plastic, get some string. All right, shelter, got it. All right, we need fire. Okay, matches, got them. And we we had matches, so that was a big help.
Yeah.
But we got the fire started. These are, considering we never done anything like that before, big accomplishment for 8-year-olds. So we did that. All right, food. Okay. Somehow the USDA prepared food suspiciously appeared. I'll take it. Yes, this chicken was struck by lightning and blown apart, skinned, plucked, cleaned out and packaged itself by one bolt of lightning, I'll take that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of new futuristic plant.
But we took that, and it was a great 3-4 days out there. I think the biggest thing we got from that was a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
You feel good about yourself because you're in this position, the situation that you wouldn't normally be in, and you overcame the obstacles that you faced, and you're better for it. So
yeah,
that's what you get from something like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a good thing for kids, I think.
I think it's a bit. We've gotten away from that.
Yeah, we have.
So.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Cub Scouts and stuff is still around, I guess, but I don't think it's I don't know.
Well, we're all,
so many distractions.
Politically correct now.
Yeah.
Like, I took some troopers out on a field problem back in the Army years ago, and they had cell phones out in the middle of the woods in their foxhole with their cell phones. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you get reception out here?
Yeah.
We're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
We weren't exactly roughing it. I don't call having your smartphone with you roughing it, but it's the world we live in now.
Yeah. Think if smartphones were around during World War II, they're taking like selfies with dead Nazis,
We did a jump on Bragg, and I remember we jumped to a place called Ryan Luzon Drop Zone, very rough place. Came down, exited the aircraft, the chute open. We came down, hit the ground, and I saw guys, the first thing they did when they got up, pull out their cell phone, call their old lady, and go, "Hey, I'm on the ground. See you in a couple hours." It's the world we live in.
Yeah.
It's the world we live in.
That's crazy. Back on the survival thing, I had a weird thought. What if we figured out the technology somehow to chemically engineer some kind of plant, right, where it grows and it's got this like really thick stalk, and on the inside of the stalk, like chicken grows inside of it, so it could just grow and have like meat.
Well, I'm sure they're working on that right now.
Probably, yeah.
And strangely enough, I saw Little Shop of Horrors 2 days ago, and that plant Audrey 2. Hey, dude, we gotta stop messing around with that stuff because that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah,
the plant that eats people. Come on.
No, I haven't seen that.
Little Shop of Horrors, this boulder comes down from space. This plant lands in this shop, and all of a sudden the plant has this peculiar thing.
Is it like Day of Triffids? Is it
kind of sort of like
it's that? Like that? Okay.
More of a musical version of Day of the Triffids.
Okay, that's hard to imagine. Okay,
and the plant named Audrey 2 survives on human blood. And Rick Moranis, great actor, by the way. He's the guy that raises it, and he ends up feeding Steve Martin to it, who's the satanic dentist. Sorry, the masochistic. Don't let me confuse him.
Yeah.
The masochistic dentist to him. Okay. And all of a sudden the plant starts talking. Personally, I would have thought, dude, what have I been eating or drinking to make me think this plant can talk?
Yeah.
But it talks, asks for more food, and it tries to take over the earth, and they destroy it. Happy ending.
Wow.
You got to see that movie. Okay. Little Shop of Horrors.
I didn't see that. That's funny. There was a South Park episode.
Let me quick comment.
Okay.
The plant, Audrey 2 and Little Shop of Horrors, sounded suspiciously ethnic. I'm going to let you figure out which ethnic group it sounded like.
Okay.
I'm not going to add anything, but it sounded suspiciously ethnic.
Well, that reminds me, I was reading this article about how, and I don't know why I just never thought of this, but it seems so obvious now after reading this article that the first Star Wars, well, not the first, but like the first prequel, Phantom Menace, they're saying that it was racist because, Jar Jar Binks, number one, and then two, the guy everyone knows why Jar Jar Binks is racist, but like the guy
why is he why?
I mean,
you got a speech impediment. Come on.
Yeah, that's right. But then the guy, what's his name? Watto, the guy that flies or whatever.
What?
Right. So he's got this big long nose.
Oh my God! Come on. Okay, what are we talking about? People reading this stuff.
Maybe it's a little bit too much.
Hey, I saw that guy down the street. Yeah, he rode the store down there. Yeah.
But apparently George Lucas thought that ethnic stereotypes was the way to go for the voices. Because then you got like what's those counselor people? They sound like Chinese or something.
Okay. As far as Jar Jar, let's beat that dead horse.
Okay.
The guy he's from another planet. He's got a speech impediment. and he's annoying. So, okay. Oh, I meet people like that every day. I don't, you know, of all colors and ethnic groups.
It's true.
So.
I also read this conspiracy theory on Star Wars that Jar Jar was actually supposed to be a Sith undercover.
Okay, all right, a little bit of a stretch. Okay, sure, but
and the guy's theory was it was a very long, drawn out thing. I read more of it than I should have.
Okay,
and so his theory, he had like a bunch of different reasons for it. One of them was his agility, and was like a clue. And then
all right,
he said that he thought that maybe George Lucas thought better of the idea because everybody hated Jar Jar.
Well, yeah, it got on my nerves. I was, Sith lightning to him a long time ago, but okay, I can't get the idea that he was an undercover Sith Lord because Jar Jar Binks, Darth Maul, who was a bad MF, by the way.
Yeah, he was. That double lightsaber.
Oh, my God. They killed him off in the first movie.
I know. Yeah, they should have left him for longer.
Oh, dude. Oh, Darth Maul. Yes. They're going to probably bring him back. Come on, George. Bring him back.
Yeah.
But, okay. Sorry. Of course, George Lucas listens to your show, too.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Skywalker Ranch cleaning his guns.
Yeah. They need to... they got of course, the lightsaber with the hilt, and the new one. Yeah, they need to bring back the double one though. That was a pretty cool idea, I thought.
It was bad. Hey, Darth Maul was a bad whatever.
Yeah, he was. Had the spiked head.
But of course, the good guy. The Anakin. No, was it Obi-Wan? The young Obi-Wan.
Right, young Obi-Wan. Yeah,
took him out. Okay.
Yeah.
It had to. Come on. You had to advance the movie.
And, people, of course, talk all kinds of crap about the prequels. In a lot of ways, and deservingly so. I'm not defending the prequels. I don't want to come across that way. But in a way, the first one almost was the best one, I think.
Yes.
Some people might not agree with that.
Well, what's going to happen. I mean, it's hard to do a prequel, I think, because you already know what's going to happen. Okay, Obi-Wan's going to end up in the desert on Tatooine. Hey, this is a little kid with the nervous condition, Anakin. Okay, we know what happens to him.
Yeah.
So.
And also, like, the things that I liked about the first one was, one, it had kind of like, just an interesting standalone plot. Like the whole pod racing thing, I thought was kind of cool. And then Yoda was actually a puppet still, and not some just really
CGI
crappy
guy.
CGI debacle. And then Anakin was a different actor.
I thought they didn't like the dude who played him.
The older Anakin I didn't really enjoy.
The older one? Okay.
I mean, the kid wasn't a great actor either.
He's 10. Come on, you can't not like him. Man.
Right, exactly.
But once he got to teen years, you're not doing it for me, dude.
Yeah, it was weird. He had this... I mean, I get that they were trying to set him up as... like he had that sinister side, like, whatever, who's kind of cold about things and stuff. I get that, but I don't know. His acting was very just robotic.
Yeah, when he flipped out at, where was it, Tatooine, when Queen Amidala's down there, and he wipes out those guys. He starts ranting about it.
Yeah.
And she had that look on her face like, this guy is off his rock.
But
no, it's a movie, so she wants to comfort and console him. No, real life, it would have been like, dude, I don't think it's going to work out. I'm out of here. Say hey to Obi-Wan for me. See ya.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what happened in real life. Dude, I mean, you got to get that anger under control, dude. I can't I can't mess with you.
The whole like love story thing.
Of course, yeah.
It's like, what is this, Pearl Harbor or Star Wars,
I'm a queen. You're some guy with anger issues. Come on.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to work out, right?
Yeah, a Jedi with anger issues.
Yeah.
And then I have to say, the Emperor that was the senator, like his acting wasn't that great either. Like, especially that one scene that's just... I know it's cemented in everyone's brain. Whenever, I guess it was the third one when they're like killing him, and he's like, no, or whatever that thing he does.
Unlimited power. Pretty good. That's pretty good.
That was pretty good. It was just a little corny. It was a little bit corny, to say the least.
Okay, all right. Sorry. Yeah, I did have an issue. Samuel L., what are you holding back for? What's all this talking, Sam? Kill him, and okay, let's go get this Starbucks. What's wrong?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's too dangerous to be left alive. So kill him. What are we talking about? Finish him off. Let's go.
And you know what? Honestly, like Samuel L. Jackson almost made the movie worse because he was too good as an actor.
It's okay.
I mean, really, like he was one of the only ones that really was like believable as like a kick-ass take names, sure. Whatever.
Samuel, you know? Whatever he does is Samuel.
Yeah.
You know, I was halfway expecting to say, I'm tired of all these snakes. I watered that statement down for your show. Thank you. But I was halfway expecting that. Because in some ways, he's typecast in some ways because you're just expecting, you know, Samuel L. to do Samuel L.
Right.
But, hey, he pulled it off.
He did. He made a good Jedi, I thought.
I mean, hey, too bad about Palpatine hitting him with that Sith lightning, you know, unlimited power, and then he falls 800 stories down.
Yeah, and I liked his reaction when he got hit by it. It wasn't like it wasn't just like an oh no, it was like he was offended, like God, like he was like annoyed by it, like come on, you know.
Hey, what are you doing? He's frying me over here. Get over here. Get over here. You didn't know Samuel was Italian, did you?
Yeah,
Get over here. Oh.
If in another life he was raised by New Jersey parents. And he really sold that whole scene where you really felt like when he looked at Anakin, like, what are you doing? Like you really felt like you can't let Samuel Jackson down. Like what? Like come on.
Oh, you know, he was all about Amidala, you know, Natalie Portman. Which I understand, Natalie. Yeah. But dude, you screwed over all your people, people that you grew up with, messed them over for what? Because she might get hurt later on? Okay, all right. Believable. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, really.
Well, but we knew what was happening. We knew what was coming.
Yeah.
Rise, Lord Vader. Okay, dude. Hey, Palpatine, what happened to your throat, dude? What's up?
Apparently that affected the sitting, whatever.
You were talking with a nice British accent a minute ago, and now it's like, oh, yes, the first galactic empire.
Yeah. It's like a Sith from the South all of a sudden.
Yeah, boy, y'all come on down here. The galactic empire just south of Atlanta on I-75 now.
Yeah. Like Colonel Sanders, Sith Lord.
Okay.
Yeah. But have you seen the trailer for that new Sam Jackson movie? I mean, it's not the same. I mean, he's in it, but it's not like a Sam Jackson movie. The Crazy Eights or whatever. You ever seen that?
Afraid not. What's it about?
It's a new Quentin Tarantino movie. It's a Western.
Okay.
And
got my attention.
It's cool. It's got a bunch of big names in it. Well, Sam Jackson for one, and then Kurt Russell is in it.
Okay.
Who else? The guy I don't know his name, but he was in Inglourious Bastards. He was in Django. He was the bad guy in Inglourious Bastards and the good guy in Django. He's kind of like
the German guy. What's his name?
Yeah.
He won an Oscar for Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, he's like real smooth.
Yeah, great. He also played.
He's a great character.
He played a great character actor. He played the bad guy in what's the follow up to Kick-Ass? Kick-Ass 2?
Yeah.
He was that guy, so the guy can act. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he's good.
He was.
I mean, his role was just spotless in both Inglourious Bastards and Django.
Oh,
the
guy was awesome. The guy was awesome.
Yeah.
And Quentin Tarantino said that Inglourious Bastards, the guy, Colonel Hans Landa, for all you trivia guys out there, it had to be a German. It couldn't be an American acting like it had to be an actual German doing it.
Yeah. I mean, that role was almost creepy in a way.
He was annoyingly confident.
Yeah.
Annoyingly confident. And just as evil as he needed to be. I mean,
he didn't even have just the slightest sense that he had any remorse for what he was doing.
I did what I had to. Hey, like he cut himself a deal. First, I need a house on Long Island and annual income of $50,000. Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, but he's ending the war. Okay, you got me. Hey.
Yeah.
And what's his name? The guy, the Colonel, Aldo Ray.
Who played him?
The leader of the Inglourious Bastards.
Brad Pitt's character?
Brad Pitt, yeah. He was kind of with the southern accent, Brad.
It wasn't the best, but I thought his acting was really good, though.
Acting good, but
accent was a little off,
when the German girl was, half his guys got took out in the basement.
Yeah.
And
was that, I mean, I've never been in a gunfight, but that felt like a realistic gunfight. It was just so fast and just like.
I wouldn't open up in a confined space like this. I'd be kind of leery about opening up with an automatic weapon.
Yeah.
Sorry. Ain't nobody coming out, dude. They got guns, you got guns. Ain't nobody coming out of this. So let's get outside.
Yeah, really.
The German girl said, I understand that you don't trust me because of the situation. And Brad Pitt was like, see, in America, we call that suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though the accent wasn't spot on, it made his character really funny, the way he did it and stuff.
Yeah. Like he marked the Nazis.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Ouch. Ooh, I'm not going to kill you. Oh, no.
Yeah. I love when the first time he like talked to the guy, it was that scene with the guy, it's like, when they first took out a bunch of Germans and he was like, show me this on the map or whatever.
Yeah. And
he's like, so when you go home, what are you going to do with that? You're going to take that off. He's like, the guy's like, oh, yeah.
I'm going to burn it. Hug my mama, burn my uniform. I'm getting ready. Yeah.
He's like, see, we don't like that. I didn't see that coming. That got me. That was good.
And the bear Jew. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And just like the music with that and like he comes down that hallway and you hear him tapping it on
beating the bat against the wall of the tunnel as he's coming out.
I love it like when something in a movie is done so well that like you get chills from it because it's so good. Like that scene gave me chills the first time I saw it because it was so just perfect.
Oh my God!
Like you've been hearing about the Bear Jew for a while in the movie, so you haven't seen him yet. And also you can tell by everyone's reaction. They're like, "Oh, you don't want him," you know.
They're like, the sergeant said he wasn't going to talk. And Pitt was like, "Oh, we was hoping you say that." Getting to see him torture people is the closest thing we get to going to the movies. Come on, call him out. So, oh, dude, great movie.
And then the German guy that was in their group, you know, they had like there was like the Nazi traitor or whatever. He was great too.
I met a guy with that same name, whatever his name was. I met a guy at the other job in the Army, with the same name, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, I talked to the family. We love that too. We haven't heard that name in years. Even it's our name, and we haven't met anybody else with that name."
Huh? That's interesting.
What was that? What was this guy's name?
I can't remember.
It. Very notable. It was a great role, but I can't remember what it was. Yeah. But that guy was he in the cellar. He was stabbing the dude. Well, I can't say on your show what he did, but
he was a very violent individual.
Yes, he was. Knives, guns, whatever. Yeah. He was. The Germans locked him up because he was killing. He was a serial killer of German officers.
Yeah,
is why they locked him up. And,
yeah,
and then the Inglourious Bastards busted him out of prison because we heard about your work and we're very impressed. We'd like to know if you'd like to join us. Yeah. Yes. Let's go.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, Quentin Tarantino is. He's a master. I mean, he does some good movies. He does some weird stuff too, but he really has some genius. You know what I mean? Like
Dusk Till Dawn.
Don't think I've seen that one.
What?
Actually. I need to see that.
Dude, Clooney and Tarantino is in that one as Clooney's brother.
Okay, that's one of his early ones, right?
Selma Hayek and whatever his name, the other guy.
Yeah,
but very good movie.
Yeah, I need to see that. I heard I was watching something on, it was one of the late night shows or something. Yeah. I think they were interviewing Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the movie, the new one that's coming out, the Crazy Eights or whatever.
Yeah.
Supposedly that movie almost never got made because the script got leaked on the internet.
Yeah.
And they weren't going to make the movie because, well, it's already out there now. Mm-hmm. But the people who saw the script, when they heard that they weren't going to make the movie or something, maybe I'm paraphrasing, but when they apparently they weren't going to make it, but then the people who saw the script were like, "You've got to make this movie," you know.
Okay.
And so then they did, you know. So it should be pretty good. Maybe I don't know if that's a story they were telling just to hype it up, but
of course. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
it looks like it has a chance for success with all the big names that are in it. Basically, so the premise is it's a Western, and these 8 sort of outlaw type characters end up getting trapped in this blizzard, right? So they're all kind of stuck hanging out in this one like saloon type area. Yeah. So it's kind of like, if you can imagine, it's like a Western version of Clue. Okay.
But
yet there's not like a murder they're trying to solve. It's like they're all trying to like feel each other out, and it's like this. So it could be interesting.
When's it due out?
I think this winter sometime.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's
soon this year.
Yeah, fairly soon, I think. Okay. Yeah.
Dude, I have to see if I can look it up. I ain't seen it.
Yeah, let's see if I can see when it's released.
Let's take a break here in the Big John Show while he looks up that trailer.
Let's see. Crazy 8 release date. It's not. Let's see. It's not Crazy 8. It's something else. Let's see. New Quentin Tarantino movie release date. Make it more vague here. Oh, the Hateful Eight. That's what it is.
The Hateful Eight. Okay, all right. Got it.
Okay. Now we're getting there.
Hateful Eight.
It says December 25th. So on Christmas, I guess.
Okay, good Christmas movie to go see. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Violence on Christmas. Good. Way to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only watch, White Christmas so many times,
That's right. Or It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, you took it. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
I've seen that movie so many times.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I understand. Man, I saw first Christmas commercial already. I mean,
it's coming.
Just come on. Earlier every year.
Yeah.
Earlier every year. Even Thanksgiving yet. Well, you thought about your Christmas shopping yet?
Yep.
Okay.
Eventually, it'll be pushed back to the summertime.
It'll be like July 4th / Christmas.
Yeah.
Just get out of the way now. I mean, come on.
Holidays will no longer be events. They'll just be constant things.
Oh, my God. And then you got holiday depression will be year round, man. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's crazy, especially with the internet, how much faster everything moves.
Years ago, this guy in Seattle, Washington, we may have already talked about this. They put up a cross in his front yard with Santa Claus nailed to it. And he drew a lot, not protests, but a lot of comments on why he did this. And he said that the reason he done this was because to show how corporations and stores have hijacked Christmas, what the meaning really is. He says, "Why should I feel guilty about not buying my loved ones a present? Why is it portrayed that I do not love them because I did not buy them a present? Because that's not true." So he felt like Christmas had been hijacked. So I see his point. I mean,
almost everything gets hijacked by marketing. Doesn't matter what it is.
We're shallow. Yes, okay, all of us, thank you. Okay, yeah. I'm not going to be self-righteous.
Even like Veterans Day. Yeah. It's like, oh, we're going to offer these deals to veterans and also for everyone else.
That's right. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Come out and shop with the veterans.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. Should we be surprised? Has it always been this way? Yes. Come on. So
there's an in the middle. It's like, you talk about, marketing is evil and all this kind of stuff, and a lot of smart people have, talked bad about marketing, and I get it.
Yeah.
But then also without marketing, we don't get, maybe even shows like this or TV shows that we like. And
let me make sure that I'm clear on this too. I understand too why people do it, because these stores make half of their yearly income during this time of the year. So I understand. It's perfectly understandable.
Right.
And if you want to go out there, it's up to you. What do you consider being shallow? I mean, if you're showing your affection for your loved ones and your family through buying them stuff, it's your business.
Right.
But you don't have to.
Right. And no one's holding a gun to your head and making you go out and do it.
Exactly. Black Thursday. I mean,
yeah.
Cyber Monday. Come on.
Yeah. I know. Like how much they keep pushing it up.
That's right. I mean, come on, dude.
Oh man, I cannot stand Black Friday shopping. Like my wife tries to get me to. Well, she successfully has gotten me to go a couple of times, but
okay. Let me guess. Let me ask: are they just going to run out of stuff if you don't buy it on Black Thursday? Are they just going to be like? Is there going to be like no more left?
Yeah,
what?
I don't know.
I found that the bargains get better the longer you wait. The closer you get to Christmas, the prices go down and down and down and down. The longer you wait. But
that's true. Yeah, I think it's like they offer up. What's it called? I think the business term is loss leader. I think, but they offer up things at a loss where they're not making money off of it just because it gets people excited and gets them in the door.
Yes, and people are always afraid of missing a bargain.
Yeah,
people they play on that. And
but see, you're paying for something either way. You know what I mean? It's like, maybe you stood in line, for 3 hours, to get like $100 off on some new flat screen TV, but. For 3 hours, you probably could have made $100 doing something. Maybe, I don't know. I mean,
like buy one get one free really means buy one get one half priced.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. It's like there's this. Okay, everyone should go when they're of course done listening to this podcast.
Of course,
should go. There's this guy that I really like that makes videos. His name is Maddox. He started out, I think, as a blogger, and then he does YouTube videos. He's a really funny guy. He's kind of a comedian. Like he was famous for. Like he would take children's artwork and then just like really harshly review it, and stuff, and it's really funny. I'll have to show you some sometime. It's really funny.
Okay.
But he has this video about sales and deals and all this kind of stuff, and he's like, if you see a sign that says 15% off, he's like, if you want to save money, take 15% of your money and leave it in your pocket. It's like something like that. I probably butchered it, but but he goes through that whole thing, explains it. And he has this thing about I think it's in another video about a free hot dog. It's like, you go to the game and there's a free hot dog, but there's a long line. It's like, it's a free hot dog if your time is worth nothing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. I got to take a jab at that. Valentine's Day. I was in line at this store in this place that shall remain nameless with about 50 other guys in line. And every guy there was saying the same thing. I have to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, they may say, no offense to anyone, they may say, oh, don't worry about that. Oh, yeah, but you don't be the one not to do it.
Yeah.
So I was in line with 50 guys, and they all said, I got to.
Yeah.
I got to. And I have no choice.
Yeah. Well, it's all I know everyone has those family members. They're like, oh, don't give me anything for Christmas. You don't need to do that.
You're right. Sure. Okay, what? December 26th. What are you whining about?
You said not to get anything.
You said not to get you anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It'll be over, man. It'll be over.
Yeah, for real. Oh, man. That's funny. Okay. Oh, yeah.
What were we supposed to talk about?
Who knows?
I don't know.
I did want. Okay, there was one thing I wanted to bring up, which I'm guessing this is a nationwide campaign. This "Don't Lie for the Other Guy" thing.
Yes.
Is it? Do you know that it's nationwide? Is it?
Straw purchase. Yeah.
But I mean, as far as is this all going all over the country?
I believe it is. Yes.
Okay. I figure it's not just a Nashville thing, but they got billboards everywhere, advertisements. It's one of the biggest campaigns I've seen in a long time since the whole the campaign that Metro did a few years back for not calling 911 and calling the number,
the non-emergency number.
Yeah. So I have some mixed feelings about it, and we may be in some disagreement on this, but here's my thing. So don't lie for the other guy. So to me, it's a little bit of a farce in a sense. Now, I don't want bad people to have. I don't want people who are going to do harm with guns to have guns. Of course, in a perfect world, I don't want that to happen. But here's the thing: to me, doing some big campaign and saying "don't lie for the other guy" is how is that any different from doing a big campaign and saying "don't buy drugs" or don't rape, don't murder, don't do lots of things that are bad. You know what I mean? I don't get what they're hoping to accomplish with this message. It's hey, don't do a bad thing. Well, why didn't I think of that?
You'd be surprised. I mean, people, that's exactly what they did. Well, I shouldn't buy guns for somebody who can't legally have one.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people out there are like that.
Well, yeah, and to me, it's all that this campaign does is it makes people who I understand guns, so I get where they're coming from.
Yeah.
I get it. They're saying, okay, I get it. Don't buy a gun for someone who shouldn't have a gun, which I wouldn't do that anyway. So it's lost on me. But people who don't get guns, they see a billboard like that, and then they're like, oh yeah, that's right. That's the thing. Guns are kind of dangerous. That's something that happens, So it kind of hurts the gun rights cause because it makes guns look like this dangerous thing. It puts them in the category of alcohol because they're doing this campaign in the same way that you see drunk driving campaigns and sexual abuse, and so it puts guns in that category. Here's this dangerous thing that we have to make everyone aware of. Mm-hmm. That's we have to be careful of. So that's kind of my beef with it.
You're right. I think what they're making people aware of is that no matter how much money someone may offer you that will buy this thing from them, the fact that they're trying to get you to buy a gun for them is a red flag right there.
Right.
If they can't buy it themselves, and if they want you to lie to a federal licensed gun retailer to buy a weapon, that is absolutely number one, it's a felony. Number two, it's going to get you caught up.
Right.
It's become too common.
Yeah.
I've seen it out here on the street that the minute some guy walks up to you and offers you so much money for your weapon, and you have to wonder why are you offering me money for this? Why aren't you going to a gun store or to wherever to buy it? Why are you coming up to me directly? Right. That's a problem.
Yeah, definitely never ever buy a gun for someone or sell a gun to someone that is questionable.
Yeah,
or even buy a gun for someone. anyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is. If they can't buy it, then
we're done. We're done. And I think we talked about there was some shooting incident in New York where a female purchased a weapon for someone else, made a straw purchase for someone, and then gave it to the guy. And then he used it in the commission of a felony, which makes the person that made the straw purchase just as liable.
Right.
So,
but now on the flip side of that, now when I say definitely don't buy a gun for someone, the reason I say that is because one, it's illegal and you could get in a lot of trouble and it's not worth it. Mm-hmm. And two, if this person wants you to buy a gun for them, it's a good chance that they probably are going to do something maybe bad with it.
True.
But on the flip side of that, it shouldn't matter. To me, like, I mean, can you really keep the bad guys from having guns? No. I don't think so. No. So to me, buying a gun, it should almost be like a loaf of bread, and to an extent. Why can't, like, here's the thing. If you were like, oh man, I really want to get, I'm really looking for X type of gun.
Yeah.
Right? I'm in a gun shop and I see it there. And I'm like, hey, Derrick, I found that gun that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh man, how long, how long is it gonna be? Like, I'll get it for you. And then you just pay me back.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. See, like with any other item, there'd be nothing wrong with that. But because it's a gun, all of a sudden it's like a big issue, and we could both go to jail for a long time, so we can't do it.
Well, no. Before you would do that, that I can legally have a weapon, though.
Right.
And now, if someone that you're kind of iffy about, if some person you're kind of leery about asks you to purchase a weapon for them, don't do it. If you don't get that warm, fuzzy feeling, don't do it.
Right.
So I think that's what they're really getting at, is that if there's any question, if the person that wants you to buy his weapon for him, for whatever reason, if it's questionable in your mind, you don't get that warm and fuzzy feeling, okay, look out.
Right. I guess that's true. It is mostly for like, because technically, like, you're not, like, if you were to fill out that paperwork, like, that gun is for you. Like, you're not supposed to be buying it for someone else.
Exactly.
But theoretically, let's say, like, for all they know, I bought a gun for me.
Yeah.
And I decided the next day when I saw you that I didn't like it and I was just going to sell it to you. That's that's legal.
Exactly. Yeah. Very legal. You can even do a handwritten receipt. Yes, John Q. Public gave this guy this gun. It's completely legal.
So I get the message. Mm-hmm. Don't lie for the other guy. Like, I get it. Mm-hmm. But as far as the fight for gun rights, I feel like it does more of a disservice than it does help anything, because criminals who would do a straw purchase, like, whatever, some gang member wants a gun and they know somebody, their brother, that's got a clean record, really, they're going to, because they saw that billboard, they're going to be like, oh, you know what, now that you mention it, maybe I shouldn't. I mean,
no, like any other law, they're only for law-abiding citizens. Your criminal element is not going to worry about that.
Right.
I quoted a stat when we first came in here that Chicago PD in the first 6 months of this year, recovered 3,200 illegal weapons from felons.
Yeah.
And they want the weapons, they'll get them. If you got the cash, you'll get the weapon you want.
Right.
So we can all we can do is the best we can, which is try to get people to do the right thing, make sure people are informed, because there's always that ignorant guy out there.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean I can't just give him this gun? No, you can't.
Yeah, it kills me that when they take up guns off the street and stuff. I get if it's still part of an ongoing investigation, but I hate that a lot of times they'll destroy them. They won't sell them back. If the serial number's been ground off, okay, that I get. It's no longer a viable gun for the regular market. But if there's nothing like that about it, it's technically a legal gun, because when they say illegal guns, they don't mean necessarily like machine guns and things like that. I mean, it could be anything. It could be a brand new Glock 19. Yeah. Everything about it's just brand new, but it's just because it was stolen or something like that. But if you can't find the owner or whatever, like, don't destroy them. Like, let honest people have them, buy them.
Which, again, another red flag for anybody that wants to legally purchase a gun. If somebody wants to sell you a weapon and you see them serial numbers been chiseled off, you might want to leave that alone. Sorry, you keep that, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, because, that's a felony.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and there are people who don't know that for some reason.
Right.
Again, goes back to what we've always talked about on this show, which is responsibility.
Right.
If somebody's to sell you a weapon and you see it's been manipulated, it's been altered, like serial number wise, hey, man, that's a problem. You just keep that.
Yeah.
No thanks.
And I wouldn't even associate with that person anymore.
Exactly, because what else is he willing to do?
Yeah, exactly.
So
and also be skeptical of a price. If somebody, it's legal to sell a gun, private transfer. Mm-hmm. Someone's selling you a gun that the price just really doesn't. It feels fishy. Just trust your gut.
Like a full size Colt steel 1911. This guy from that looked very leery tried to sell me for what's about $1,600 gun. He tried to give it to me for like $7,000. Let me get those serial numbers, man. Let me get that real quick. I'll get back with you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Nah. I'm not gonna do that.
Depending on, I mean, there's used Colts that would go for $7,000, but it depends on if it's like you said, if it's a really nice one, then maybe,
pristine condition.
Yeah.
I mean, this couldn't have had more than 50 or 100 rounds fired through it.
And here's another thing too. Like the kind of person that would have a gun like that would be more of a gun enthusiast. Like it'd be a gun person.
This was not a gun person.
So that's what would that's what's ended up the biggest red flag to me.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm even at a gun show, I'm walking around a gun show and some guy has let's say he's got like a nice Colt Python or something.
Yeah.
You know, those things have gotten really expensive.
I bet.
Because they don't make they made them since I'm not sure when they stopped making them, but it's been a long time since they made them. And it's a guy, you just get the picture, he doesn't really know anything about it, and he's just not a gun guy. You just kind of pick that vibe up.
Oh, just a high creepy feeling. A high creepy factor, yeah.
And the price is like exceptionally low. Like, you know, I would
thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not worth it.
A lot of it's gut instinct too. If you don't get that warm and fuzzy feeling about this person, don't mess with them, man.
Yeah.
It's not worth any kind of possible repercussions. It's not worth it.
Yeah. And also this idea that background checks are just going to keep people from getting guns is ridiculous. I've been propositioned to buy guns. It's just like, whoa, dude. Like I remember one time this guy that I knew back when I was in college.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say how I knew him because I don't want any chance of people figure out who this guy was. It wasn't someone that I was like friends with. It was one of those deals where it was a guy that had a job where it required him to be in an area that I was. Okay. So
that was vague enough. Yeah.
So, and he knew that I liked guns and we would talk about guns sometimes. But I remember he told me one time that a buddy of his had a fully automatic M16 with a grenade launcher on it. It was that gun from like the 90s that they used a lot.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? I saw a bunch of them in Black Hawk Down. It's like the old school M16 but with the grenade launcher attached to it.
The M203.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And
he had one of those?
Well, he didn't, but he said he had a friend that had one. They were selling for $300.
Okay.
And he was like, it's marked military and his property and everything. Like that was like a selling point. You know?
Oh yeah, of course. It's authentic, dude. How'd you get it? It's authentic. Don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah. Big red flags. In fact, that's a red siren going off.
Really. Couldn't be any more clear than that.
Dude, no.
But you know, it was educational. I took it away as an educational experience. It's kind of like, wow, it's, you know, this idea that, you know, criminals are trying to figure out ways to buy guns from gun shops and things. You know,
they can get the weapons like the guy I told you who had the UMP 45. I mean, this guy was some gangster off the street. He reached in his back seat and pulled out I was like, holy jeez, put that away.
Yeah.
Put that away. Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got the cash, unfortunately, if you got the cash, you'll get the weapon.
Yeah. You know, he's probably not a class 3 dealer.
Probably not. No, this guy, no. I'm pretty sure he ain't one. No.
Yeah.
And you see what
like, oh yeah, this is a dealer sample. I'm on the way to a commission.
That's right. No problem. I got 15 more in the back.
Yeah. I have a meeting with the local police department tomorrow. We're trying to, you know.
Oh my God. So you just gotta be careful. Which I saw at this one store. They're selling the SIG 415, which is their version of the M4. Same weapon the SIGs use. Beautiful weapon.
Yeah.
By the way, SIG, keep up the standard.
Hey, anything SIG makes, you can pretty much, you know, it's pretty good quality.
Top of the line. Hey.
Yeah. Some of their handguns I'm not a real big fan of, but it's not because they're not well made. It's just because of the ergonomics of it and stuff and the shape.
Okay.
So SIG's good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We recently got I can't remember. Oh, we get so many guns. I get confused on the model number sometimes. But
yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, not that we get to keep them, but they come in and out.
Okay.
But it was a 10 millimeter SIG.
Ooh.
And big heavy all steel guns. Oh man, just sweet shooter.
You can hit them with it if you run ammo.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll tell you what the gun reminds me of a lot is it's like a much more solid and obtainable version of the Bren 10 that Sonny Crockett had in Miami Vice.
You reached way back for that one.
Yeah.
You scrolled way back.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Good gun.
Yeah.
Good gun. Okay, I saw this thing on 1911s this week, and I got the guy makes some very valid points. And yes, I am a traditionalist, as everybody well knows, but he made some point. The guy, he claimed to be a very traditional 1911 guy too, and he made some points that I will reiterate on this show. That yes, again, to be reasonable, to be fair, 1911 is an early 20th century weapon. Yes, effective. Yes, but the sights on the standard issue 1911, the sights and round capacity does not meet our modern 21st century standards. Right. I'll be the first to say that. But you can buy like the Kimber ones and the.
Well, you can always improve the sights.
Exactly. Yeah. But being a traditional guy, them 1924 sights, by God.
Yeah. Well, that Colt that you got, it doesn't have the like the top notch Novak sights on them like some people, but it's got
white dots. Yeah,
but it's got a good sights. It doesn't have like those old
blade, and hold still.
Yeah.
I was pretty much point and shoot back then.
Yeah.
Which again, the difference between military combat shooting and self-defense shooting. You need the white dots. You need the high-speed sights.
Yeah.
But for what they did with them back then, they worked fine.
Right.
But again, the guy said the same thing that I've always said. It's a piece of history.
Oh, yeah.
It's a piece of history.
And you know what? There might be guns that have a little bit better track record for reliability than 1911, but the thing is, the 1911, you keep it up and take care of it. They're still pretty much like I would say a 1911 is like, well, nothing is 100% reliable when someone. Okay, let me get on this little tangent, and hopefully I'll remember to come back really quick.
Okay.
I've seen some confusion on this, but when someone says that a gun is 100% reliable, they don't actually mean that the gun is 100% reliable in the sense of it will never malfunction.
Yeah.
What they really mean is that where that term came about is it means it's as reliable as guns tend to get.
Yeah.
Right, like a Glock. Mm-hmm. You would say a Glock is 100% reliable, or a SIG is 100% reliable. They're as reliable as guns tend to be.
As it can be, yes.
Yeah, that's what they mean by that.
Mm-hmm.
So now, a 1911, if a Glock is 100% reliable, a 1911, I mean, it's like 98% reliable. You know what I mean? It's just right up there.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a good one. And
I saw this Hungarian guy. He did something on the 1911, and he called it a reliable old lady. I would use another term, but I can't say on this show.
Okay.
But I agree with him. With him. Yes, I agree with him.
Yeah.
It's he said the same thing. It's not modern, and I know a lot of us get caught up on. They didn't back in the day. They didn't worry about ergonomics or anything like that, or lightweight. It had to work. It had it was a tool. Did something just knock on the door here?
No, it was just
okay, all right. I heard got nerve knocking. I thought, oh my God, they're coming. But anyway,
it's okay. I got an AR right there.
Sorry, no problem. You don't want to attack this compound anyway. The 1911 for back then it was a tool, and they used it. They had a specific purpose, and they used it for that purpose.
Right.
And for what it's made for, it works.
Yeah.
And World War II, Vietnam, Korea, need I go on?
Yeah.
It does the job.
Well, and to me, the 1911 is still relevant. To me, the thing that will make something irrelevant is whenever a more improved version of something comes along that does everything that gun does and better. Right, so then it kind of makes you go, well, okay, I'm really sacrificing by having this gun.
Yeah.
But see, the 1911 is not true for that because one, it's a single stack, so you can't say that it has capacity limitations. Well, yeah, compared to a double stack, but that's because it's a double stack. Like this is a single stack, so like,
okay, good
you know
point.
what I mean? So it's thinner.
Yes.
Right. So you gain something. Like even a double stack 1911, it's my whole 13 rounds, but it's got a big old fat grip on it.
Yeah, if you got little small hands, you might have a problem.
Yeah, and plus for concealed carry, it's harder to conceal and cover up. So you can't say it's outdated for that reason. And like I said, it's very close to as reliable. I wouldn't say it's quite as reliable as some modern handguns, but it's very, very close.
Yeah.
So you got pretty much the reliability factor. It shoots a 45. It's still a relevant cartridge. The only big thing to me about it that's been surpassed by a lot of modern guns is maybe the weight of it.
Yes, we're spoiled now, as I've said many times. We're spoiled now by the modern materials and modern equipment we have. It's more ergonomic, which is a term which is a term that didn't exist in 1911. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
it was like it was about the shooter. I think, my opinion, back then it was more about the shooter.
Right.
The gun is a tool. It's about the shooter. Why do I practice? Why do I go to the range as much as I do? Because I only got 9 rounds. I don't have 16. I don't have all these rounds that some modern guns have.
Right.
I got 9. I got 8 and 1. That means in 2 rounds, that guy better be on the ground.
But for 45, that's still a decent amount of ammo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the thing is, even if you have a double stack, which if you got that, that's a big old gun. You're getting a bigger gun.
Yeah.
And that's still only, got the hiccups, 13 plus 1. So 8 plus 1. So, okay, so we got 9 versus 14. All right, so that's 5 extra rounds.
Yeah.
But you've got a much larger gun. So, I mean, 9 rounds, that's still pretty good, I think.
I think, again,
considering it's a 45.
Back to the shooter. It's about the shooter. If you're, God forbid, you ever have to come into a close quarter, deadly force scenario, if that suspect is not on the ground in 2 rounds, you got a problem.
Yeah.
Personally.
Right.
Personally.
But also, like, on the flip side of that, we'll say some people will be like, oh, if you know what you're doing, you're only going to need 2 rounds. That's not necessarily true. Because, again, it really, what it seems like is, from what I've heard and read and stuff, is stopping someone with a handgun, because you don't get that same shock that you get from a rifle. It really comes down to just the odds, because you've got the human body, and there's only certain areas that are going to cause a person to
shot placement.
Stop. So it's kind of like luck of the draw, but the more shots you put in, the better you increase your odds.
Shot placement, and also understanding that it's going to be most shootings from some of the FBI and police studies I've read are within 20, 25 feet.
Yeah.
It's going to be close quarter, a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming. Is 1 round going to put this guy down?
Yeah.
And again, even if you hit him at 45 close range, where did you hit him? If they show up a headshot, this guy might keep coming.
Right.
So again, practice. It's about the shooter, not the gun. They all shoot bullets.
Right.
It's about the shooter.
And a lot of people say that you're going to completely just abandon any kind of stance, or it's literally just going to be, there's a guy right there, and you're trying to,
Exactly. That's where your training, your repetitive training comes in. You do it without thinking about it.
Yeah.
You do it. You perform without thinking. If you're going to carry a weapon, get to the range, train properly. We keep hitting that on the show because it's important.
Right.
If you're going to carry a weapon, be proficient with it.
Yeah.
Because if you have to shoot somebody, you're not going to be thinking.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I've never been in a shootout, but even like in just a basketball game, like even in something as low risk, as low like anything as a basketball game, like your nerves still get to you, and you don't perform as well as you do when you're practicing. Mm-hmm. So I can only imagine, like in an actual like life and death situation, how much your ability is going to be just reduced just naturally.
Now we all got that fantasy where we step up. Do the Bruce Willis, Die Hard, diving as your fire. Yeah, it's cool to think about, but is it realistic? No. No. Also, because in the real world, we have to worry about the background. Who else is around when you fire that weapon? God help you if you hit a civilian.
Yeah.
If you fire on someone, even if they are threatening you, and you fire on someone and that round penetrates and hits somebody, a bystander, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done. Maybe not criminally,
right?
But civilly, they're going to come after you. So you got to be careful. Practice.
Which reminds me, it's funny. I had this. I guess it was like a week ago. Uh-huh. So I had this dream. It was a war dream.
Okay.
And it was really weird. And a side note, like some people that listen to the show may remember me talking about this, but I was going to join the military at one point. I guess it's been a while now, 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
And part of one of the reasons that I was going to do that, I kept having these dreams that I was like in war for some reason. So I kept thinking like maybe this is something I'm supposed to do.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, but realistically, I think a lot of everyone has dreams like that. And I think what it is it's like your brain like making sure that you're staying on top of things. You're not getting complacent or whatever. It's probably what that is. But anyways, so I had this dream the other night, and I hadn't had one of these in a while, and there's something funny about it, and it was so vivid too. Okay, so like for some reason, and I'm thinking it was partly because we were talking about, that was on the last show, or at least the other day, about going to Iraq and filming some stuff.
Yeah, the Big John show Iraq.
Yeah,
that'll be a big hit.
So it came from that. And so it was me and Dad were there.
Okay.
And we're driving in his truck, and we're in Iraq.
Of course, you took your own vehicle with you.
Yeah, like I don't know how that happened. And because everything makes sense in a dream.
Of course, yeah.
And so he's driving, I'm in the passenger seat, and we're driving down the road. And there was, for some reason, there was a bunch of trees to the right, which that doesn't sound like Iraq either. But
some parts.
Okay, but it was Iraq, and I remember the ground did look kind of sandy-ish. Okay. So we're driving down the road, and I remember we were just discussing how I wonder how bad it is still over here. That's like the war is pretty much over. I wonder how if it's still bad over here. And right as we had that conversation, I heard a bunch of gunfire, and they were coming up. I was like, "What's that over there?" And then there was this truck, like this enemy truck. And then there were some American guys that shot this rocket at it and blew it up. And I was like, wow. I was like, I didn't expect to see that, And there was this big shootout that happened kind of off to the side of the road. And I was like, And then we keep going. And then I see this enemy fighter with an AK kind of running that direction. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, that's a bad guy. And I was like, I looked at my dad and I was like, I think I'm going to shoot him. I literally said that. Okay, I was like, right. I've got a Glock in the center console. I'm going to shoot him, Right. And that was like, I guess,
do what you got to do, son.
Yeah, I was like, I don't see anything wrong with it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do it, And what was funny what made it so funny is that I was how I felt at the time was how I probably would almost feel if this actually happened. Because I wasn't in my dream. I wasn't like this badass commander. I was just me, And I was like, I think I'm allowed to shoot this guy,
don't get excited.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got a gun. I
was like, yeah, I think I'm okay to shoot him. So I got my Glock out of the truck, and I was like, okay, and took some shots, and then he kind of fell over, and I was like, okay, cool, all right. And then I had this. I was like, I can't wait to tell Derrick about this later.
Get on the phone, hey dude, I'm going to Baghdad. Guess what happened, dude?
Yeah, and that was kind of the end of it. And I woke up with that thought, oh man, I got to tell Derrick what happened.
That's right. Don't get upset.
Yeah,
don't get excited. Hey, he got a gun. He's threatening people.
Yeah.
Of course. Hey, Dad, give me that Glock. That Glock, which was conveniently close by.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Exactly. That's a realistic scenario.
Okay. I like
that part.
I just, if it ever happens, I hope you have a rifle close by. It's a lot easier, a lot better.
Yeah, exactly.
Bigger round capacity. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, but that was just funny. It's funny how those things happen in dreams.
Dude, excellent.
So who knows? Maybe it was the future, and that's going to happen whenever we go over there.
That's our show in Syria. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, outside Damascus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, I just remember what I forgot to write down earlier. I was going to ask you about on the show. So, as a esteemed veteran of the Cold War,
yeah,
I was going to ask you, what is your just opinion on the whole Russia thing? You think there's what do you think the likelihood of a big dust up between us and Russia is?
The Russians are trying to be, Putin's trying to make sure his people know that the Russians are still relevant. He's made a couple of speeches in front of the UN. He says he never called the Americans out by name, but he says, well, certain countries, just after winning the Cold War, seem to think they can do no wrong. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
Okay. And they want to be a world power again. They want to be relevant as far as world issues. And getting involved in Syria is one way to do that.
Yeah.
From what I understand, they're having some problems with their equipment, though. Keeping their stuff running in that desert terrain is a problem for them. Because they really don't have any experience deploying, to other countries. They're tough in, Chechnya and Ukraine, close to home. They're bad.
Right.
But when they have to go way off somewhere else and you're in the middle of nowhere, and you got to keep your planes flying. Right. They're having a problem doing it.
So really, since Afghanistan, they haven't really done.
No. From what I understand now, the U.S. and the Russians have a hotline. They've established protocols, so they don't want to have any accidents and all that. I think the last thing they want is to go up against us. I'll say it. They don't want to confront us.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, sometimes they blame us for all their problems. Them Americans, like with the meteor, the meteor or whatever it was hit the town.
Oh yeah.
Thought the Americans did it. Okay, all right, really.
Yeah.
But I think it can be. We can't do anything about it politically because if they used to support Assad in Syria before all this started.
Right.
So. I think that we need to be very careful, of course, but I think if anybody does anything, it will be them because we're not gonna provoke them.
Right.
I don't see that coming, but I don't think they don't. Some people have said that we're fighting a proxy war against them.
Yeah.
Which maybe not.
It kind of almost seems more like on a large scale. It's like that thing when you're going down the hallway, the two toughest kids, and you accidentally bump shoulders. And it's kind of like,
exactly, trying to square off and all that. But I don't think nobody wants a direct confrontation. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
No, especially two well-funded nuclear countries.
Exactly. I mean, nobody wants that. So I think the chances of an actual face-to-face confrontation are low. But you gotta be careful. Gotta be aware of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's kind of my thinking. I mean, Russia knows that if they really came after us, that we would go 100%, and that's not gonna do anything good for them.
I think we'd beat them economically. The last thing they want is a weapons arms race, because it would kill their economy. It did during the old Soviet Union days.
Yeah,
it wasn't the war that was It wasn't war that hurt the old Soviet Union. It was the arms race, because all their money went into building arms and arming other people. They didn't have any real money for economic development, so that shot them in the foot.
And their weapons on probably every level are comparable to ours, but the thing is, we probably have more of it. Is the thing.
From my old Cold War days in Germany at the old Fulda Gap, by God, facing the Russians over East Germany.
Couldn't you actually see them over there or something?
Yeah, Hill 551, Czechoslovakian border. Yeah, sitting on a hill, and over there is a Russian counterpart looking back.
Yeah.
Them were the days, bro. Yeah, Cold War. Yeah, them were the days.
You could have been the guy to start it. Negligent discharge started the whole thing.
They used to jam our radio traffic with their Russian music. So yeah,
Wow.
So they were the days. From those days, from the 80s and 90s, the deal is American equipment is seen as technologically superior, but they got quantity on their side. And there's
the opposite, was it?
Yeah, that stuff is seen like more, their equipment, like especially the AK, seem more rugged.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing to an AK. You can't do nothing to it.
Yeah.
M4 or AR-15, you better take care of it.
Yeah.
Because it will malfunction on you. It's more accurate, can shoot further, more accurately, yes, but you got to take care of it.
Well, it's kind of like the difference in philosophy. It seems like Russia, just the communist countries in nature, they put less emphasis on the individual and more on just like the system, the equipment and the structure. Where America, with all of its faults, the reason we have better equipment is because they trust people and they want to train people enough to use it.
Competition too.
Right.
I saw some stuff in the Russian army too. They still do something they used to do back in the Cold War days. They don't necessarily believe one person is in charge and that's it. They don't believe in individuals stepping up, taking over.
Yeah.
What happens if that leader gets knocked off? Everybody else is kind of like,
that's the problem.
What do we do now? So.
Surely they have like a second in command, I would think.
I would hope so. I mean, what if the leader gets knocked off? Who's going to take over?
Yeah,
we're gonna have a vote. Guess not. Sorry, it's Russia, right?
Like whichever guy happens to be in the office, like the guy that was just in there cleaning it that day. Oh, okay, I'm the president now.
So I don't know. Plus I think they got a lot of internal issues too. I'm not too sure. I gotta get more update on this. I think they have a lot of internal issues. Yeah. They don't necessarily need a war with anybody.
No.
So this is from everything I've heard, this is a steam thing for the Russians. Putin's trying to show everybody, look, we're the Ruskies, don't mess with us.
It's probably, being positive about it, it's probably like a swell, like something. I can't think of a good analogy for this, but like sometimes if, let's say, like something, all you want is like this, the size of a fist. Like to get that, maybe you have to kind of swell out a little bigger because you're going to kind of, so it's kind of like they're like, yeah, remember us? We're big bad Russia.
The Russian bear,
yeah. And then take a couple of countries and then maybe they'll chill out some and be like, okay, actually, this is all we actually wanted. We just wanted to make sure that everybody knew.
Hey, we got Ukraine. Hey, I'm satisfied. What about you?
Okay. Hopefully that's all it is.
Again, I don't see any kind of imminent combat type thing between us. It's more political jousting, and hopefully it just stays that. As far as the Middle East goes, I'm like, you got plenty of Middle Eastern countries with armies. Let them go fight.
Yeah,
ISIS is not to be messed with. They have a Jordanian pilot was shot down. They captured him and burned him alive.
Yeah, I heard there's some kind of deal with that where I was reading something where they thought someone was questioning whether ISIS could have done it because they're like, well, I don't. They didn't even have the plane was too high for shoulder-fired rockets or something.
That was the one the Russian plane that got shot down in Egypt.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, the ISIS has been boasting that they shot down a plane in Egypt. Now, and now everybody's all uptight. But I've heard also too. Well, I don't know. Don't let me say it because I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't. They are a threat. We need to be aware of it.
Right.
And
here
we go again.
Yeah, really. Who knows? Maybe ISIS and these really hardcore extremists can be the one thing to finally get Russia and America to at least maybe not get along, but kind of be like, all right, let's.
I've heard that. I've heard that said before too. That finally, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Hey, hey, look, I don't necessarily like what you say. I don't like your philosophy, but this guy's a threat to all of us.
Right.
If Al Qaeda says that ISIS is crazy, dudes, we got to take these guys out.
Yeah, exactly. Because apparently they got some money behind them.
Yeah, they are very good at marketing, social media.
Yeah,
they are Al Qaeda plus. They learned well.
Yeah.
They getting people to drop what they're doing and run over there and fight for them. Okay. All right.
Asking people to like their Twitter and stuff. They're like taking pictures of like their dinners on Twitter.
Oh my God. They got a magazine. They got a magazine. Yeah.
Wow, ISIS Today or whatever.
Probably. I can't remember the name of it, but they have their own magazine.
Does it have like a fashion section? It's like the new tough guy look is the 5-inch headband.
Oh my God. I don't know. Why don't some of these other countries roll up in there and fight them? Because I think other countries are learning from our experience in Iraq and the Russian experience in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Fighting insurgents is very tough. It's expensive. It costs a lot of blood and treasure. So you want to mess with it.
But it's still the kind of, even if they are well funded, it's still nothing compared to the military might of even Russia and us.
True.
It's kind of like that same scenario where like everyone thinks of gangsters as being like, oh, they're tough, they got guns and all that kind of stuff. Which tough compared to someone who doesn't have guns, but compared to someone who has guns and knows how to use them, they're nothing.
Very true. Also, understand they're not. They can make money, but they're not very good managers, though. The administrators.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the areas they take over, well, the water ain't back on, the power ain't back on. Hey, ISIS, what's up?
Yeah.
You said things were going to be better, but they're not.
Yeah. That's the thing. Everybody has this idea they're going to take over and all this kind of stuff. And
There's a lot more to it than what we think. When I even heard people say that we should have left Saddam Hussein alive.
Yeah.
Because he kept them together. Yeah, he was a tyrant, a despot, but he kept them together. So
that's why it seems like trying to mess with the Middle East. It's almost like one of those games where you got like all the little blocks and you gotta
Rubik's
like
cube.
Well, no, not Rubik's cube. The other one. It's like it's 2-dimensional, and you've got to like. There's one hole missing, right? There's like one missing, and you got to like move a bunch of them, and you're trying to like make the picture or whatever. But it's like you got to move it, you got to screw it up to get it right. It's kind of like Rubik's Cube. We'll just leave it at that. It's like that's what is the Middle East. It's like you think you're fixing one problem, but then you create a bunch of more.
Gaddafi, same thing in Libya. A lot of people saying, man, we got him killed off. It wasn't a good thing. I mean, yes, he was a tyrant and probably deserved to get it too.
Yeah.
But if you talk to them, Gaddafi and Hussein, they will went, look what I got to mess with. Look at that. Look at this.
Yeah.
From what I understand, Saddam used to be on the payroll for the CIA back in the day. And he started acting up. Hey, Saddam, you got to go. Behave or we have to deal with you.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't play ball anymore. So we see what happened to him.
I think that was kind of the same story with Osama bin Laden. Like the CIA used to work with him or something. And
I've heard that too. Yeah. I mean, these guys, as long as they play ball, no problem. But what do you do when they don't?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's tricky, man. Really, the source of all of our problems is all of our cultural differences. That
true. Yeah.
That's the ultimate source of all these problems. We can't just be like, you're a person, I'm a person. We all just want to enjoy life, and then,
my time in the Middle East, very tribal. They're really loyal. There is no my experience, no real sense of national loyalty in like Iraq. They're loyal to their tribes.
Yeah.
Sunni, Shia, whatever. That's what the real loyalty is. So would American democracy really work there?
Yeah.
You have to wonder, would it really work?
Yeah.
So don't know. In fact, during some of the attacks in some of the towns in north central Iraq where I was, a lot of these people couldn't believe that their Muslim brothers were killing them.
Yeah,
they couldn't. What? No way.
It almost seems like the thing that they need the most is security. That's the thing. Like,
yes, exactly. Like, they're like everyone else. They want to have a secure environment to work and raise their kids and not be messed with. If you can guarantee that, they'll follow you.
Yeah, and they'll figure something out as long it's weird.
The time I was there, they had power in their the town I was in. They had power for about 4 hours a day. Running water. It was iffy. In fact, you still saw the women with the big pots on their heads walking down to the river, to the well, to fetch water and take it back.
Wow!
I mean, it was straight out of the first century.
It's crazy. I bet it definitely makes you appreciate what you got back home when you see that.
Heck yeah, dude. I mean, I think every American should go to somewhere like that, and then I don't think we have as much complaining here.
Yeah.
And if you went somewhere where there's real poverty, real hunger, all of a sudden that salad from McDonald's don't look so bad anymore, does it?
Yeah, I'd like to go abroad sometime. I really want to go to Egypt.
Oh, dude, I don't know, dude. Take it easy.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's dangerous over there, I guess.
Stay in the tourist area.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Mainly, I want to see just like the ancient stuff that's over there,
Cool.
But it sucks that like so many neat places to visit are so hard to get to.
You gotta be careful. Like Israel, went there. Would love to go again, but you got to be alert at all times because you just don't know. Somebody could just, like this last incident where that guy, Palestinian guy, crashed his vehicle into a bus stop, killed 2 people, got out, started stabbing other people, and then an armed Israeli citizen shot him.
Yeah,
you just got to be careful. I was in Tiberias, and this rocket came over from Jordan and hit over in a field, and nobody even looked up. It's like, okay, all right.
Wow.
Okay. That happens every day. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
If you can hear it, you're fine. You're fine. You get used to anything. Hey.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. We think that like some of the really bad neighborhoods in Chicago are bad. Imagine like people that have to live in Iraq and stuff right now. And
unfortunately and scarily, I remember years ago when the Pope came to. Okay, well, let me another story. You can relate to this. There are combat zones right here in the United States, and you know where I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And my first day patrolling, I got out of that vehicle, and my partner turned to me. He says, "Are you ready to step into a combat zone right here in the United States?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Until I stepped out of that vehicle. This place where I was, there were bullet holes in the buildings, in the cars. I remember one vehicle had buckshot. 12 gauge double alt buckshot in the side of the door.
Yeah.
And you're hearing gunshots all the time. I thought he was right.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, there are places here in America that are uncomfortably close to that.
It's like the Bud Light of war zones.
That's right. We're the Virginia Slims of combat. That's right. So it's unfortunately here. And I think when Pope, going way back, when Pope John Paul visited Chicago years back, he was honestly shocked by some of the poorest sections of Chicago. He's like, my God, this is America. What? Are people living like that?
And even like the stuff that we've seen here is probably nothing compared to Chicago.
Or LA or Houston. Yeah.
No, they didn't call it Chirac for no reason. Which there's a new, I think it's a movie that I think it's got Samuel Jackson in it, and Dave Chappelle is in it. And I saw the trailer. I was like, "What? Dave Chappelle's in a movie again?" He hasn't been on TV in like forever.
Well, he made his $50 million and said, "You know what? I'm done."
Well, no, he never got it. I don't think.
He never got it?
I don't think so, because that was the thing that was weird about him, is where he signed this new contract and then he just said, "No, I'm not going to do it." He just got fed up with the Hollywood BS.
Yeah, I thought he made his money and took off to South Africa.
Well, he did. It's weird. I watched this documentary online. It's like, so he was coming back to shoot the 3rd season. I think they had already shot some of it or something. I'm unclear on that.
Yeah.
And he was going to be, they're going to pay him $52 million or something like that.
Oh my God.
Or whatever it was. And he just said, "No, I can't deal with this Hollywood. I can't deal with it." And he left. And he went to like South Africa somewhere.
Yeah.
But then he realized he couldn't hide there.
Yeah.
People still knew who he was. So then
hey, Dave Chappelle, I know you. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then he moved back to his hometown in like somewhere in Ohio or something like that.
Yeah, I go Wyoming.
Yeah,
dude.
And he popped up he's he would show up. He still would do stand up occasionally, and he would do interviews and stuff. But he basically was just done. Well,
he had the. I mean, he could afford to do that.
Even from the first 2 seasons, he probably had.
I'm good to go. Keep your 50 mil. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
But a lot of people theorize about like what it was because he still won't talk about it. He alludes to it. He won't say like what it was that was going on, but he just says there was just some weird things going on in Hollywood, and he won't get into it.
Well, I heard there was some creative. They wanted more creative control, and he was to the point where I'm not gonna put up with that.
Yeah.
First couple of years, okay, yes, Mr. Hollywood, whatever you want, you know, like you do here with the Big John show.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
right. But then after he made, after the first two, 3 successful years, he's like, hey, you know what? No, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah,
we're not gonna do that.
Well, some people don't understand how incredibly controlled Hollywood is. Like whenever. If you get asked to do stand-up comedy on a show, like on TV, you have to have a full transcript of everything you're going to say.
Can't be offensive. Can't say the wrong thing. Well, sorry, can't be too offensive. Can't say anything too off color, because they're about making profit.
Right,
and
they have an agenda too.
True.
Political sometimes,
and they won't do what works. And unfortunately, they stick to it. It's the same thing, maybe kind of just rehashed. Slightly different, but there's not. Is there any real creative activity going on?
Well, they make it too much of a science. Well, Chappelle Show, perfect example, right? So in this documentary I was watching online, Dave was talking about how he had been a part of, I think he said like 9 different TV show pilots, right, that never made it. And he listened to all the producers and stuff, and the big Hollywood guys, and did everything like they said, and all this stuff. And then finally, he just said, "Look, no, this is working." He just said, "Screw it. On this next one, I'm just gonna just do what I want."
Yeah,
and he did. Him and Neil, I forget his last name. He's the guy. Like they both wrote equal parts, but you don't ever get to see him.
Yeah,
much.
I know the guy. Yeah, I can't think of his name either. But I
think he does stand up now and stuff. Yeah. But so when they saw the show, they were like, "We don't get this, but." It's funny, so keep doing it. So it shows you that breaking the mold a lot of times is where you find good stuff.
You gotta be successful though. Because if you break the mold and your stuff and you're not successful, they're like, so what?
It seems even worse. Yeah,
exactly. And they can't argue with success.
Yeah,
if you're going out there, you're effective, you're successful. Yeah, they may not like it, but they're going to let you keep doing it because they can't really argue with you, right?
Yeah. So, and his show was genius. I mean, if you go and watch that pilot episode of the Chappelle Show, it's like it's obvious why they had to pick up the show. I mean,
the problem that he faces, I'm sure, is staying original material.
Yeah.
I think you after a while you kind of run out of gas, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And I've saw this thing on comedy. Not that I know anything about it, but your stuff is either funny or it isn't.
Yeah.
There ain't no, I was sitting around the office with John. He laughed all the time.
Yeah.
No, it's either
people
if people that don't know you don't think it's funny, you're not funny.
Yeah. It's like food. It's such an opinion thing. You know, just.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Ellen DeGeneres, she said something to one of these star shows. Fame is not. There's no science to it. It's just that certain something that nobody really knows what it is.
Yeah.
It's that something that makes people want to see you.
Yeah.
And either you have it or you don't.
Yeah.
Like it ain't about talent. It's about star quality. Again, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it depends on too what part of the entertainment and all that kind of stuff.
Example, music wise, Bonnie Raitt, if you know who she is. What? Great rhythm and blues white lady. She's been singing since like 72. Or that great red hair she got.
I probably recognize her.
Bonnie Raitt made that song that I can't remember right now. Great artist. I can't remember her name. But she has a certain group, a following.
like a specific demographic.
Yeah, exactly. She was not. She just stayed in the clubs for years. Out there in the clubs, very regional for years. Had one big national hit, and then you never saw her again because she's back down at the club level with her following.
Yeah.
No doubt. Another example with Gwen Stefani.
Oh yeah.
No doubt. Very big in Southern California, and then they hit it, and they've been big ever since.
Yeah.
But it started out with their following. Which I think a lot, which I guess you can't relate to that.
Well, yeah, or like for comedians like Killer Bees, for example. You heard, he's like notorious for being like one of the best or one of the biggest regional comics because he only does shows. In like if you looked at America and divided it into 4 sections, it's that bottom right one.
Bottom right one. Okay,
that's where he does all of his shows.
Oh God, college campus guy.
Maybe some of that. Mostly clubs, I think.
Because you see a lot of guys who all they do is college campus.
Yeah,
they do a certain kind of humor right there on college campuses, and that's what they're known for.
Yeah.
Again, they're not big. It used to be back in my day, back in the old days.
Yeah.
Johnny Carson. If you made that show, you were there.
Oh yeah.
But again, you had to be a certain kind of comedian, certain kind of material.
Yeah.
There are a lot of guys out there, but again, not everybody's gonna have the big fame.
Yeah, it used to be if you wanted to be big, then you had to get on TV, which it still helps, obviously. But nowadays, the stuff on TV is trying to get big on the internet.
Yes, because it's more accessible to more people.
Right.
Like YouTube, Justin Bieber. I mean, he got famous on YouTube.
Yeah. And a lot of people did just strictly from YouTube.
Go figure.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is like we watch the late night shows now, like Jimmy Fallon, some of those, which I don't tend to watch those usually. Like Conan is the one that I like and I'll watch occasionally, but it seems like they're, instead of just being a show, just trying to have a good show, they're worried about having some kind of viral video segment, being on the internet. So it's like they're more concerned with their internet appeal than they are their actual TV audience.
I think internet, they're going to reach more people that way. Because not everybody's going to stay up till 11 o'clock at night to see the show. Yeah. But people go on their internet any time of the day, anywhere.
And it lives longer, too.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Like there's somebody right now probably listening to that god-awful first episode with the horrible sound quality that we did.
Oh, speaking of Conan, you got to get Triumph the Insult Comic Dog here.
Who's that?
Dude,
I don't know any of these people.
Dude, okay, but where's my rocking chair at? Okay, for those of you old guys out there, Triumph the Insult Comic Dog was on Conan. It was a pit bull puppet with a cigar that insulted people. It was great. It was great.
I gotta check that out. That's funny.
Dude, okay, oh my God. We get my Geritol. For those of you who remember Geritol, thank you very much. I'm so dated. Yeah, back in the old, I should have the big Old Testament beard. Back in the old days, we had to send film off to the drugstore to get the.
Oh yeah, that really does feel like the old days.
Oh my God.
Anything technology, man.
Oh my God, am I that old? Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. I don't believe you don't know who that is. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I never watched Conan back in the day. I just watched it since he was been on TBS.
Once we're done, Google it. You will love it. He got on. The best one is when he took on the Housewives of Atlanta. It was great. It was great. He also what was that protest up in New York, Wall Street, something Wall Street.
Occupy
Wall Street. He went out there and took on those guys. It was great. It was also the Star Wars, the Phantom Menace when it came out. He got on. He went out there and again, insult comic, got on these guys too. So. Dude, you got up your you got to watch it.
Okay. Oh, dude. It kind of reminds me of Yucko the Clown. You ever seen that guy? That guy is nuts.
No, I am completely. I feel my arthritis acting up now that you said that you don't know who Triumph the Insult Comic Dog is. Yeah. My arthritis instantly started acting up. So I'm like, how old am I? Jesus. Yeah, boy, I remember our guns used to shoot bullets. Yeah. We didn't have these Class 2 phasers that we have now.
Yeah, none of these plasma cannons. I wonder if that will be like, if there will be like a next level evolution with guns where there's some kind of like contained energy projectile or something.
Back in 97, 98, I was trapped in Army recruiting. So we had to go to this conference, and for some reason this guy from the Army R&D department was there giving a speech. And he said, I never forgot it because he said this. He says, well, no one's asked me for a phaser yet.
Yeah, I remember
not that he couldn't do it. He just said no one's just asked for it yet.
Yeah.
I went, I'm sure they got one in the basement of the Pentagon somewhere.
That's coming out 20 years ago, so maybe they got one.
Exactly. And now they're like, a phaser right here, right there. It'll be on Guns R Us.
That's right.
That's right. And then you gotta be the guy to have one. What kind of license you gotta have that?
Hopefully none.
That's right.
Yeah, I wonder. Man, it'd be so awesome if you could just like go to the military. What's the best thing you got? I want to see it.
That's good. I will start selling it right now.
Yeah, what's the best weapon you got?
We need it now, right now.
I bet you. Honestly, if somehow, like, we could just be shown what literally, if the government was just like, look, we're gonna just put all our cards on the table. Here is the best weapon.
That's right.
That we have, or that we are like about to have.
He said he signals over to a curtain. They roll the curtain back. Iron door comes up, and they start rolling out all this galactic stuff they got. What?
Depending on what kind of mood I'm in and what internet videos I've been watching lately, I either tend to think that it would just completely blow our minds to the point where we would have a hard time even wrapping our heads around it. Or we'd kind of be like, really? That's kind of disappointing.
Yeah. It's either going to be real great or, is that what all you got? $268 billion, funding, and this is all you came up with? Come on.
Yeah, that's a real good gun, but it's going to cost a lot to make, and it's not really that much better.
Example, the gun that, what's it called? It recognizes your DNA or something.
Oh, the smart gun.
The smart gun. That kind of went away real quick.
In theory, in a perfect world, it's a great idea, but no.
Yeah, I mean that's from that's a movie. That's some movie stuff that they came up with.
Yeah.
Again, great idea, but is it practical?
Yeah.
Really.
I remember. Well, go ahead. What were you saying?
I'm saying that some of the stuff, I'm sure that a lot of stuff that's hindering new weapons is. Yeah, we could do it, but is it practical?
Yeah. Well, like there was a gun. I remember watching a History Channel documentary on it. Back when I was like a kid. I mean, this is like 20 years ago probably. Mm-hmm. And it was some gun. It looked very space age. It kind of looked like there was this gun, the FS-2000. It's like a bullpup plastic gun. It looked kind of like that. But it had this like video camera sight on it. And it was designed where you could like, look around corners and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then also it had these special bullets to where like, I don't know how it worked, but when you fire, it was an explosive round, and it would explode at like a certain distance, right? So like, if there was a guy shooting at you from behind a barrier, you could put the gun up and then look and see, okay, there he is, and then fire around, and then like the round explodes when it gets to the guy, so it doesn't actually have to penetrate the barrier. You can just like shoot over his head and it blows up or whatever. And this was like 20 years ago they came out with that, but apparently they kind of realized like, well. Or we could just shoot it with a 50 cal. 100-year-old technology.
How do you justify the cost? Well, I got a 50 that'll just shoot through the door and get him that way. Yeah.
Or just call it an airstrike.
For all you guys who play a Call of Duty, sentry guns are out there, by the way.
Oh yeah,
they
I can believe that.
Oh yeah. But is it practical?
Yeah.
I'm gonna set up this machine gun and just walk off. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. So, exactly. So, there's a lot of stuff out there. Again, it's possible, but is it practical? And you have to think about the money aspect.
Yeah.
We could do a lot of things, but is it affordable?
And and also we don't always anticipate very well where technology is going to go, and sometimes some new type of technology completely negates the need for. Something else. Like I think I've used this example before where let's say back in 1895, some guy figured out some better wagon, like lighter wheels, and it's more durable. And he came out with this like really new age cutting edge wagon. Yeah. Well, cars are kind of coming around, so it's really not pointless. You don't need it anymore,
There's some kind of warrior program the Army was developing about 10, 15 years ago. It had the helmet with the reticle that, had a map in it and your heart rate, and it had all your people marked on the map, and it was all in this, and it had this big battery pack. Cool idea, man. Cool idea, bro, but is it practical? Now this
cost effective.
And I got Joe got another 40, 50 pounds of gear on. Plus the other gear he's already carrying.
Yeah.
Is it practical? Now, the stuff is probably still out there. But they got to figure out how to make it lighter and have a better power source.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you what a lot of this stuff is going to really hinge on is that's the key word right there is power source.
Yeah.
If we figure out a way to really harness energy and have very sustainable, powerful power sources that are small, we're going to see some crazy stuff. Like these exoskeleton suits that
they're trying to make, which
been seeing in movies and stuff.
Supposedly, we're going to have that by 2025.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could build it, but like again, like the powering of it and all that kind of stuff. You know.
The one I saw in the Army Times, it shot like projectiles out of the fist. You know. I mean, so I don't need to do a workout anymore. Is that it? Okay, I can be 400 pounds. Hey, let me put my suit on. Come on. Now I'm running a mile in 4 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why not?
I have to say, in the movie Avatar, I was actually pretty impressed with the technology. Like I thought that they did a pretty good job of kind of guessing, you know, like what maybe like that big robot thing that he stands in. That was pretty cool. I like that.
John Cameron said he had to wait until technology caught up with his ideas because he had the idea for that movie for years, but the technology to make it, you know, to envision what that stuff could be like in 2153, wasn't there yet. Do I believe that? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, hell. Do I believe that we swoop down some planet with unsuspecting inhabitants and take over? Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, we would.
What we need to worry about is somebody doing that to us.
Yeah, which could happen. But I don't know. It's possible that planets are like an intelligence test.
Yeah.
In a way. You know what I mean? Like, you figure out how to get off of it, then maybe you're ready to go to other ones. You know?
Star Trek First Contact. Star Trek First Contact. That's what the premise of the movie was. Humans figured out how to do warp drive, and then the Vulcans just happened to be passing by.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, they got warp drive. All right, let's welcome them in. Yeah. Okay, whatever. It's a movie. Hey, whatever.
Like in the second Star Trek movie, like the movies that have been coming out, those new ones, which I think are pretty well done.
Oh yeah. They upped the game. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but the second one, the beginning of the second one, they're like at that red, everything's red in that planet.
Oh yeah.
You know, and they see that ship and they're just like, what?
they threw away their old idols and start worshiping the ship. Yeah.
Okay. That was a real nod to I forget the guy's name. I got the book over there. The Chariots of the Gods. You know, whatever. Like supposedly there's some part in that book where he talks about this tribe or whatever that like saw planes coming in from like World War II in the Philippines.
I heard about that. Yeah, and they start building a religion and a culture around the planes and the maintenance and the airfield. Yeah,
and that was kind of it seemed like a nod to that, which is kind of cool. You know, interesting idea.
Which is what will happen. By God, hey.
I mean, if you're like living in huts and got spears and then some metal ship comes down and
this guy gets out, he's talking into this thing and a voice has come out of it.
Yeah, and they have all these great food and all these things. I mean, you're gonna this guy screw whatever else I was.
I'm gonna be like them.
Yeah,
let's go.
whatever they're doing, I want that. You know,
which example of that is that village in Iraq called Andalusia.
That sounds like a type of sausage.
We get there, man. It's straight out of the first century. You know, mud huts, the whole 9 yards. A year later, we left. There's a Burger King down there.
Yeah.
What a country. What a country. What America. Be like us or else.
Yeah. That's a great motto.
Or else.
That should be like, they should have instead of the whole Uncle Sam thing, let's just say, be like us or else.
Which is why a lot of these countries don't like us. Because when Americans go anywhere, they tend to make wherever they are like America.
Right.
And a lot of people resent that.
Yeah.
You know, the way I heard it termed in Germany is that we like American things, but not necessarily Americans.
Right.
So, they come together, dude.
Yeah, since we had the best quality of life in America overall, we tend to think that look, our beliefs must be better too, which
may or may not be true.
Yeah, no, it's so true. I think that the countries need to be able to we need to help them improve their quality of life, but they have different beliefs. You can't just tell them that they're wrong. We might be wrong. We don't know.
Respect it. Yes, respect. People get upset when you disrespect their beliefs. Yeah. No matter what you may think, you still have to respect them because they believe it.
Right.
And based on the fact that you believe what you believe, I will base my respect off that.
It's interesting that it seems that maybe this is being done. I don't know, but it seems to me like almost a more moral way to do it, and maybe more profitable too, because obviously profit is what really kind of makes the difference. At the end of the day, it seems like for most people, instead of opening a Burger King in Iraq or whatever, like you'd think that even if you were the Burger King chain or whatever you were, you would open up like a different version that's still that same concept, but like
Eastern version,
but like local food, like stuff they would actually want to eat.
Big goat size. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist that.
I was like, what? No. You know what I mean? Though? You think they would do that? I don't know. Oh man,
big goat size.
Yeah, you go into the Burger King and they got the lamb, rotating. Which maybe they have that. I don't know.
Hey, dude.
Yeah.
We're joking, but it's a guy over there somewhere going, great idea. Dude, hey, Ahmed, get over here. Tomorrow, we're opening it up.
It's funny. I like a lot of ethnic foods usually. Like Middle Eastern, like those Euro places, those are pretty good.
That bread that the native people eat, they were making it on a rock.
Oh yeah,
this restaurant. It was a building where they cook food in. I didn't know there was no flashing light, no parking.
Yeah,
but they opened up this Iraqi restaurant. That's the only way I can describe it. And I went back there, and they had the menu was handwritten and on a piece of paper, and the paper was stuck to the wall. So I went up there, and this Iraqi guy comes out, says, "Hey, what do you want? Tell me, what do you want?" I says, "What do you got?" He goes, "Look." He points at the handwritten paper on the wall. In English, and I went. It had Iraqi fish. I went. I've been down to the Tigris River. I'll show you a picture one day.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna eat anything that you pull out of there. No way. And then they had hamburger. I went. Okay, you can't go wrong, right? So I said, "Give me a hamburger. I'll take it." Okay, no problem. I'm expecting the generic American McDonald's, Burger King hamburger. No. I look back there, and there's a bunch of hot rocks, and they're making, it's like pita bread or whatever you call it, on these rocks, and they're burning the heck out of it. And then they take that, put that on a plate, and then they get what looked like some cherry tomatoes, and then there was something that looked like lettuce. Notice I said looked like lettuce.
You're right.
And some kind of meat, I guess. so they go, "Here you go, hamburger. Here you go, hamburger, American, eat this." All right, okay. I'm like, I didn't want to insult the man, respecting their culture. I went, "Thank you very much. Here's the money." I went, "How dangerous could it be?" Come on.
Yeah. Well, it's well cooked.
It don't look like any hamburger I ever seen, but what the heck? Yeah, come on. Maybe it's Middle Eastern beef. It's different. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
So I put this stuff on that cardboard / bread, and I choked this stuff down, dude. I think it was about 10 minutes later. I thought, okay, remember that creature from Alien? I felt like one of them was this out of my stomach. Oh my God, get it out. You come over here with that knife, get it out. I was done. I was incapacitated for like 2 days, dude.
Oh my God.
Man. To this day, I don't know what this was. I'm afraid to ask what it was. But be careful when you're in foreign countries eating their chow. Be careful.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I got no shots. I'll be all right. No. It may not kill you, but you may wish you were dead. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So after that, no more MREs were great. Hey. Hey, no more native food for me.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, man, I can imagine.
Best weight loss program in the world because you're not going to eat for like 3 days after that.
Yeah. I imagine similar scenarios happened in good old Saigon back in the day.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Dude. Oh, dude.
There's a place over here it's in Nashville.
Yeah.
And it's called Saigon Cafe. I've been wanting to eat there just out of curiosity. But I want to make sure I block out a couple of days after just in case. Yeah. And I'm not being like racist, like saying that like their food is bad or that I wouldn't try. It's just, but still, like you're not used to eating it. So
in that story I just told you, you don't know how their native food's going to affect you.
Right.
Your
exactly.
American gut.
It's not that it's not about that. It's just, you don't know what it's going to do.
Because I'm tell you, it wasn't good.
Yeah,
it wasn't good.
Yeah, but I've never had Vietnamese food though. I've had Thai food, Indian food, and of course Chinese food. Everybody's had that.
We kidding? Come on.
And Japanese food. I like sushi, but some Japanese food gets a little weird for me. But
I can't do the raw fish thing, dude.
I can't either. I cook sushi. That's all I use.
Is it still sushi if it's cooked?
It's good. It's still good. I know that.
Is it just fish then?
Yeah. Hey, some of that stuff is good, man. They put that pre-cooked crab in there and like the tempura. I like tempura stuff. Like it's like that Japanese style fried like vegetables or soft shell crabs. So that's good stuff.
Watch the sake. Watch that stuff because years ago in the deep dark South, I went down there and I tried to impress this girl by taking her to a Japanese restaurant, and I'd never, this was a different time, so I'd never been up to a place like that before, and I think I was maybe 20.
Yeah.
They did the stir fry, they're cooking the stuff right there in front of you, flipping the knives around all that.
Like the bocce girls.
And they poured this here clear looking Japanese liquor.
Yeah.
And sake. And I started guzzling this stuff, and the guy said, "Okay, dude, look, take it easy, man. That stuff sneak up on you." I'm like, I did the Southern thing. Well, by God, my granddaddy made stronger stuff than this. By God, give me that. So I started guzzling this stuff down. Nothing. I thought, no problem. See, I told you, it ain't nothing, by God.
Yeah.
So, man, I made it all the way back. We left the restaurant. I drove all the way back home, dropped her off. Fortunately, got back to my house. I went 2 steps through that door, bam, face down.
Oh, man.
And I think I woke up next morning sometime. Oh, what happened? Oh, yeah, he told me to be careful. Yeah. So be careful.
Yeah.
Don't let it fool you. Just because it's made out of rice, don't let it fool you.
Yeah, really. I think I've had, I guess it was the liquor. I've had rice wine before, and I wasn't.
Sake, rice, alcohol.
Yeah.
But strong stuff.
That's crazy. Anyways, all right. Well, I guess that's all we had to say about that.
All right, yeah, that's it. Yeah. I survived. I'm here to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've been on the show for a while, so I guess we'll close it out and save whatever else for next time.
Sure enough.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, happy to be here. Yeah.
Yep. And all right, we'll talk to everyone later.
See ya.